Okay. Podcast number 1. Wow. Here we go. Very makeshift. We've spent the last, hour figuring out camera placements and whatnot. Been talking about doing a podcast for a long time. You've got an intro prepared. Do the intro.
I do.
Do the intro first.
I've frozen. In my intro voice? No.
Yeah, do your intro voice.
I don't know.
Nah, just do it. Just do it. Normal.
Should we do an intro before the intro?
Well, it's going to be really rough,
Okay.
this whole thing. So,
Okay.
welcome everybody, wherever you are viewing or listening from.
Hello.
Oh, this is Jessie and I'm Luke. And I'm sure that's the intro to the intro. Listen to the intro, you'll figure it out.
So basically, I'm probably not going to read it word for word what I've written. However, we just cannot wait to chat a lot about working together as a married couple in the wedding industry and how we navigate everything business and life and parenting our dog and all sorts of things, and just managing to stay sane and happy and positive, and how we run our separate small businesses and that kind of vibe. And we're also interested in how other partners run businesses together and what their roles are and how they work together, and because we love it. We think we have amazing lives and are not sick of each other, and we work next to each other at the same desk and having plant issues.
You can move it.
And so that's basically the premise of this office romance, which I'm going to say, working title. Because we married working together in the wedding industry, hence the romance and all that. So if you don't know who the heck we are, I'm sure you do.
Well, if they don't.
Hi, Mum.
This is Jessie, wife. This is our house, by the way. Welcome. If you're watching, if you're listening, you don't really care where we are. Jessie is an insane wedding videographer. She's been doing it for 8 years, since 2013. We're in July 2021. We live in Adelaide in South Australia. Married for 5 years. As I said, Jessie does amazing wedding videography, next level stuff. It's awesome. And we work together in our home office. And
Luke, my wonderful husband, is a photographer, wedding photographer, amazing at it. Also incredibly amazing to work with, on the day, and also super awesome at business in general and social media and all the behind the scenes stuff. He pretty much does most of my behind the scenes stuff, business things, bit of admin, tax, he's just all over it. Very, very helpful. Not sure what I would do without him. And his business is Luke John Photography. Did we say what my business name was?
Jessie's The Film Room. Plenty of people have spoken to us about whether or not we're going to join brands, and we don't know if we are, because we've got our own Instagram, Facebook accounts. People know us separately and together.
Yeah, it's kind of, it seems like the obvious road to go down to just join forces. But I don't know. But whilst working together is awesome and just super convenient as well and wonderful and fun. We definitely love working with all the other amazing people in the Adelaide wedding industry. And, you know, we don't want to just pigeonhole ourselves to only having to work together.
I think if you go to like either of our websites, or if you find us on socials and stuff, we try and make it pretty clear, like even when you're inquiring with us, that we do offer video if you come to me for photo, and we offer photo if you go to Jessie for video. So
yeah, like it's pretty awesome if someone is looking for photo or video and they're just like, because it has happened, like, do you happen to know a videographer? And you're like, yep, sitting right, we're married to one. And same with me. And yeah, definitely get a lot of jobs with you and recommend you a lot, of course. And people seem to love the dynamic. Like, obviously we get along pretty well. There hasn't been too many hissy fits on a wedding day
one or
together.
They're pretty minor.
Never in front of, well,
sometimes in front of people.
So
everyone finds it very entertaining. It's fun.
Yeah, so people do love that dynamic, but also it's almost like it's all in-house. Like, I don't know, and we get to discuss the weddings before, during, and after while we're editing the footage and video and photos. Yeah, I guess people like that, and some people just find it easier as well. Not saying that you have to do this, you have to book a photo video team, but it definitely has its perks.
Yeah, I think people just like that they can come to one place and get two suppliers, and they know that we get along, and they know that we know what we're doing, and we don't have to meet someone new or work around someone that we haven't worked around before.
Yeah.
And I know, because we're being politically correct, that yes, it doesn't actually matter if we're working with a new videographer or a new photographer. Like, we get along with everybody. We play nice. We have done for years. We've got dozens of people that we would recommend to you if you don't want either of us. But yes, it's very easy for the people looking for the photo video team.
And this is sort of heading into a bit of our backstory as well. Whilst we work together when Luke's on photo and I'm on video, Luke hasn't been doing photography as long as I've been doing video. But when I was doing video, he came with me to most of the weddings I did. So Luke would second shoot video for me since 2013.
Why don't you rewind and start from, how did you get started?
Okay.
In video.
How did I get started?
Well, how did we get started? Okay. It started with you.
Quite literally started with a dream, but as in like a sleep dream. Anyway.
I don't even know that.
As in the long story in 5 seconds is I had a dream about a movie, and then I thought, I want to write movies. I want to be a screenwriter. So then I went to film school, which happened to be in Brisbane where Luke lived. Big long story short. Went to film school. At film school, we had to learn everything: film theory, writing, camera work, everything, and
history, editing.
Yeah, so video editing, which I'd never really done, never done before. And we had to do it for, assignments and stuff. And I edited a music video, and I had so much fun doing it. And I showed it to everyone in my class, and they all thought it was really good, and they couldn't believe that I enjoyed doing it.
Editing, that is.
Yeah. So one of them was actually like, I think you have a future in video editing. And I was like, oh, thank you. Like, I don't know. I'd never really found the thing that I was good at. So I was like, oh, like, I don't know. Like, thank you for saying that. Maybe I do like doing it. Maybe there is a future in it for me. So what do you need to do when you want to edit video? You've got to shoot video. So we bought our first camera. I'm not even sure what the intent was. Like, I don't know what I was going to make. I think I just wanted to get a camera and just practice editing or something.
It became pretty apparent that if you were going to be a video editor, that you needed some kind of content to edit. And we weren't going to get content without a camera. So we bought the camera without really knowing what the future for the camera was.
That's a really good point, because looking back now, I remember buying it and I don't remember what I was going to do with it. It was just there.
I don't even remember what we thought we were going to do with it.
It was a Canon 60D.
entry level
with a flip screen, which was like the most incredible thing we'd ever seen.
We're talking like, this is still like a $500 camera. I reckon maybe $600 at the time with the kit lens that came with it, which is about $100. And this like rig blew our minds. It was like, this is like the bee's knees. And we couldn't even consider pro level cameras back then. Like, to spend $4,000 on a camera seemed obscene.
Yeah.
Like, so that was just never going to happen, not without a plan. Anyway, go on.
So got this camera. I don't really know what happened between then and shooting. That's not actually where the wedding started, though. Where the wedding started was I got asked to edit a wedding video, and I did it, and I did it pretty quick.
And really good.
And it was really good, but I didn't think it was that good because I kind of threw it together. Pretty good for my first one. It was received quite well. And then I thought that was really easy. That was fun. Let's make pretty videos. And then through my best friend, I got an actual paid booking to shoot another wedding video and edit it. And it's sort of, very, very slow start. Like that was like one that in that year. And then I got another one maybe at the end of that year. So first it was like 1 and then 2 the next year. Like it was super, super slow. And that was a long time ago now. And
just to give you some context, that's like 2 videos in a year that we did for probably like a few $100 profit, not even. And now we're at the stage 8 years later where we've got 2 businesses between photo and video, and we're shooting nearly, I won't say nearly, but more than 50 weddings a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, a season, yeah.
Yeah.
So in 7.5 months, we're shooting 60 weddings now, which is crazy to think about.
I wonder if that is a normal amount of time for things to build up, or if that actually... I feel like it might be quicker for some people to start a wedding videography business these days and have a fully booked season, because even 7 years ago, wedding video was...
a bit more obscure.
I want to say new, but not like it didn't exist before, because it definitely existed. My sister has a fabulous video from 2002 on VHS from her wedding. It was definitely had always been around, but I think people thought wedding videos were tacky and old and like just funny and
absolutely
nothing like they are.
No,
today.
because traditionally wedding videos are home movies. They were made with giant cameras that were held over the shoulder. It was dads and uncles that were filming them, because tech and men like tech. But I think since cameras have gotten smaller, we've gone digital, it's less expensive to actually produce them. And I guess, without trying to sound too wanky, the artists have got their hands on them. They've become much more entertaining, easier to watch, I guess fashionable even, and something that can actually show off the day in a really spectacular way. So
they've come from, like just this thing that you have that you might watch a couple of times on your TV at home, and then your kids will watch it, whatever, grandkids watch it, etc. Now they've become more and more popular because of social media, and it's like that's the step between it now being fashionable. So it's like social media means you can show everyone that you've ever met on your Facebook or Instagram your wedding video, and it's just you get more out of it these days. So you're not just paying a bit of money to have your ceremony on video and maybe you'll watch it every anniversary. You will have it on your Instagram page permanently, and people can watch it all the time, and you can show heaps of people. But then now people are sort of trying to, I guess it's just becoming more fashionable is a good word. Is it a good word to describe it? Like, not even just to have one because like you need a videographer, but weddings get better and better every day. And I think people want to show off their weddings, and that's totally fine because weddings are just insane these days. I want to show them off. Like, I love shooting these weddings and seeing all the pretty amazing ideas that people come up with.
I would highly encourage you, if you've made it through this far so far, go and watch some of Jessie's videos when you're done. So, thefilmroom.com.au. Little plug for our own channels. I'll put links and stuff wherever you can put links and stuff. I haven't even looked at YouTube yet or Spotify. I don't know what kind of text I can put or links I can put, but I'm sure that they have such things available to me.
Yeah, so I feel like that's almost the history behind the wedding video. But what I also want to say is they are no longer, they're easy to share now. Weddings are insane. Everything's changing all the time. But wedding videos, are nothing like they used to be. Like, it's a whole different, I'm going to say, craft.
Yeah, why not? I think the good thing about your videos as well is that you come from not a hobby, but you've enjoyed dancing and learning dance moves to like Spice Girls and Britney Spears and all this stuff from since you were like a kid.
Thanks.
And you sing, like, not professionally, but you're pretty good. You're much better than me. But like, for some reason you have this, I don't know what you call it, this feeling for music and rhythm, and you understand the vibe of a wedding and you understand people's personalities musically, and then you're able to execute on the whole vision. It's crazy. It is.
Why, thank you for that. And I feel like, thank you.
It's like your videos are like a dance. Like,
well,
the videos
it's like
have rhythm.
I feel like it's because they're like a music video.
Yeah.
Because if I could edit anything, it would be music videos. I feel like the actual world of doing it is quite restrictive, which is why I get to do whatever I feel like doing with these wedding videos. It's very like free.
Sorry if you can hear the rain starting. We are doing this in a storm, so we'll see how we go.
Will it pick up?
I think the microphone's good enough just
fine.
to get us.
Yeah, I feel like what you're saying is true. I don't know if it's because I used to dance. Maybe it is. Where did we go before that? Oh, we're talking about how cool wedding videos are.
Yeah.
Mine are cool, Luke says.
Yeah.
So, what do you have to say about your work? Because we work well together, and I'll just first say this. If you watch my videos, you might pick this up or not. I'm super duper candid. Like, I just catch I film what happens, and that's it. And I make
when we shoot
great
together
stuff out of it, I guess.
When we shoot together, I see what photos I've taken, and then when I watch the video that comes from the same wedding, I'm always saying, like, where were you when you got that shot? Or you saw that other thing happening off in this corner, which had nothing to do with what was going on, but it's cool. Like, a few things that come to mind, and I wasn't at this particular wedding, but like one of Jessie's videos starts with confetti being swept up, and then the whole story basically unfolds so that you then see the chaos or the fun chaos that happened to explain that first shot. It's awesome.
It's a bit... Thanks. I feel like I'm not like so like wacky and weird and going against the grain, but I do without even being that wacky or weird, I do go against the grain and I film the things that people would cut out for sure. And
you film
not
things that people wouldn't even think to film.
Yeah,
Confetti
I just
being
think like
swept
that's
up.
cool. But I also feel like people would cut out these shots, not because they're bad shots, because lots of them are actually good shots. Like they're in focus and they're framed well and whatever, even if it's like a piece of rubbish off the ground. But people would never ever put that in their wedding videos. But if it somehow works, somehow like, I hate saying tells the story, but you know what I mean, is relevant to what happened on the day, then I'm just going to put it in there because you don't just have to be walking off into the sunset, which is beautiful, but so many things happen on your wedding day and I kind of want to show everything as long as it looks good.
Yeah, as much as possible.
Do you have anything else to say? Because now I'm going to talk about you.
Yeah. No, I don't have anything else to say. Okay, so I guess how did I get started?
Oh, well, I was going to talk about how you work
Do it.
on the day. And then we'll talk about how you got started. So basically, whilst photography is different in the sense of you generally have to give at least some or a lot of direction depending on what you're trying to do to shoot people. And you have to you're in charge of everyone. You're managing people on the day and you're like, have more responsibility. So I'm like in the background filming the responsibility of someone else. And the photographer takes charge pretty much always. But Luke is still very just candid and fun and just wants you to be comfortable and like you'll still get amazing photos. There will still be posing because people don't always naturally just pose the way that you see in a wedding photo.
You can't cue romance.
Yeah.
You can't cue happiness. Sometimes you can.
Yeah. So like you got to do a little bit of work to get them there, but it's not super structured and it's really easy to work with for that reason. So our styles are similar, which is very, very helpful.
I think our styles are similar in that we watch what's happening, and as long as what's happening is natural, fun, people are enjoying themselves, we don't really need to interrupt the day too much.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes, like, this happens especially when we go to a groom's house of a morning. We walk in, sometimes the parents greet us, sometimes, it's the boys. But almost the second line after, hi, how you going, is, what do you want us to do? Where do you want everyone? Okay, cool. Like, everyone, the photographers are here. Where do you want us? And it's not like that. It's, I don't want you anywhere. I just want you to chill out for a minute, relax, get used to us being here. We'll figure out how you know each other. We can show you, we can show you that we're not scary and we're just fun, normal people, and we just hang out with you for 5 minutes and get our bearings. And then we'll come to you with some instructions. Like, we're quite happy for people just to naturally hang out, and we can capture that rather than orchestrating everything.
Because it is a priority to just have your wedding day and just enjoy your wedding day and do whatever it is you were going to do.
Yeah, we want you to have as much fun on the wedding day as possible. And sometimes we have to facilitate that, and sometimes it just happens naturally.
We have to facilitate the fun.
Well, at a photo shoot, when it's an actual photo shoot, a group of 10 people or 6 people don't know what to do, which is fair enough. So then we take a little bit of charge. But there are those times where it's like, cool, stand around, have a beer, have a champagne. We're standing in a park or a forest or a beach or wherever we are. Chill out, chat to each other, have some fun. And we can just snap away while you guys are, having a laugh, and we can capture that. Then we can take everyone out and we can have a joke, and we can stand you in a line or stand you in a group or take pairs off. and we've got ways of, or, like fun activities for you guys to do, which isn't too structured, not too posy. Yeah, some of them are icebreakers. Some of them are just like fun activities that are hilarious. Well, they are like, you're all standing in a group looking at each other, and it's like, look at your favorite person, and chaos ensues. Like, some people look at the wrong people. Some people, it's like, it's funny.
Brides just look ahead.
Yeah, brides look at their bridesmaids instead of their new husband. Like that. It's either funny or you just ended the quickest marriage ever. I joke. But yeah. Like, we try and have some fun with people. We try and keep the day lighthearted. We don't want you to stress about having your photos taken. Almost every single person, I'd say 80% of people that inquire with us or me are like, look, we're not comfortable in front of the camera, or we're not used to having our photo taken, or we've never had it done before, and we don't know how to pose. And, my fiance doesn't take selfies. I've literally said to people on the wedding day, almost every wedding day, don't even look at me. Pretend I'm not even here. Focus on each other. Have some fun. Here's a suggestion of an activity to do. And it plays out every single time.
Yeah, it does. So, how did you get started? This goes back to the 60D with the flip screen as well.
Oh, far out. How do you
Back we go.
Yeah, I know. It's like, how do I tell a 8-year journey story in
8 seconds.
A minute? 8 seconds. So Jessie's doing film school. She's starting to produce wedding videos and just do side projects. How did I get started? So Jessie's shooting wedding videos, and basically, so I was working full time years ago in a government job. And every time that I had a Saturday off, I would go with Jessie to any of the weddings that she was shooting and help. So I'd either shoot B-roll or, carry gear, help set things up. Like, we're both still learning. Jessie's not like, super tech savvy. So if something breaks, I'm the fix-it person. She's much better these days. But back then, well, you didn't really know how to work everything. We knew... within,
Sorry, I'm just laughing about these days. Anyway.
Yeah, anyway. So I would go to the weddings, and so Instagram wasn't really a thing, but Facebook was, and it didn't really support video very well. I don't think there was any native Facebook videos. I can't remember if there was or not.
There must have been.
So, you needed thumbnail images, and you needed cover images and profile pictures. So I would just say to the photographers on the day, hey, do you mind if I take a couple of snaps for socials? And they were always awesome and let me do that. So we had some content that we could share somewhere that would then lead you into a video. And then I started just taking the camera, and we'd take it on photo walks, and I learned how to do nighttime photography, and just sort of started picking it up as like a side hobby. People started seeing what I was putting up on Facebook and saying, hey, can you shoot my family? And started doing that for $50 here and there, or a bottle of wine or whatnot. So got pretty good at it. Some of the wedding photos that got leaked were good. So I eventually shot my first wedding. I don't know what you call it.
What do you mean?
I don't know, like, the basic content, I guess. I can't even remember. Someone found out that I was doing photos or at least family stuff, because I was doing a few families, and a girl that I used to work with said, hey, could you shoot my wedding?
Okay.
But I don't remember whether I had... Yeah, I reckon that I'd just shared a couple of things that I'd second shot at some weddings. Like, just shared some basic photos, some behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, well, do you know what? I try and think about how you got that first booking, because now I'm remembering who it was.
Yeah, well, I think because I went to the weddings with you, and a couple of the photographers were our friends, and they just let us shoot whatever. Okay. And then I would have shared those weddings on my Facebook, and then I think I got it from that.
Yes, and then your first wedding, I was a videographer.
Yes, you were. They did. They hired us both.
Destination wedding. We were straight to the top.
In Noosa.
When the weather was like
The weather was like this. It rained all day. I think it broke for about 5 minutes during the ceremony, and then it was all back under cover. And it was almost going to be a garden wedding too.
And it was the week of our wedding as well.
It was a few days before our wedding. Yeah. So what have we been married
Crazy.
now? Is it 2021? 5 years? 6 years? 5 years.
No, 5.
2016 we got married. Yeah. Always think it was 2015. Anyway. So that's me. So now it's weddings full time. We just finished the biggest season that we've ever done. That's mainly because COVID postponements from 2020 got put into 2021. And yeah, it's been very busy.
It's been psycho.
We're pretty excited.
Yeah, we're pretty obviously COVID can die in a hole, but I think the whole wedding industry was shook at how it took a hard hit, but then it came back very, very, very strong and intense. And then we're all overwhelmed by how many weddings we all had on. And I mean, it's looking pretty good for the future in South Australia anyway. So like I don't know, it will hopefully go back to some normality, but we're currently in sort of, I guess, the off season. It's wintry and cold outside. And I'm still editing. Luke's got a bit of free time to do projects
podcast edits
like this.
Well, our sync fell through yesterday, so I put my handyman hat on, which I don't own. I'm not much of a handy person, but with enough YouTubing, I can do anything.
So you're the house guy.
I'm looking after the house, the dog, now possibly the podcast, and I'll be learning how to video edit very soon so I can clear some of Jessie's backlog, which will be fun.
I feel like I just want to say some of the more simpler edits that I offer, because my highlights videos are very much my babies, and I don't think anyone understands them.
I'm not going to be editing that. I'm talking pleb stuff. I'm talking like put some stuff on a timeline.
Tripod.
Like I'm still going to be saving you 10, 15 minutes here and there. Like this is not the heavy lifting by any means.
No, you're very.
I'm going to have enough trouble putting this together, and it's 3 stationary cameras and 2 microphones. Like
you're full-time dog dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah. So, that was a bit or a lot about us. But pretty much we just love talking about weddings and business, and I just want to shout out to the entire South Australian wedding industry and all of our friends in every other state as well, because it can be a bizarre industry and job sometimes when you just think about what we do for a living, but every single person is just a legend. Like there's
heaps of support here.
We're all friends. Like
I've looked at, and I don't know if this is true because we're not in the USA market, but if you go on Facebook into the photographer groups, it is apparently savage.
Oh, really?
No support from each other.
Just
no
competition.
Community. Just if you've got a booking, then that's a booking I didn't get.
That was my booking.
Or if I recommended you, then you should pay me for recommending you. Like, please.
Really?
Yes.
No.
It's horrific. Like in South Australia, we basically everybody is friends. The celebrants, the photographers, the videographers in their own circles and between circles.
There's like
everyone knows everyone.
I find it really fascinating how there's sort of no cliques. Like we have our catch-ups for sure with like 2 people, 1 person, 10 people, whatever. But I've never really felt, I mean, I think we all have FOMO when someone goes out for wines with someone else and you just think, I want to come out for wines. But no one ever feels left out because we are all really good friends and we all talk to each other all the time and help each other with everything. Like if I'm having trouble with something,
and there's plenty to go
put
around.
it to the group. Like
there's plenty of help and there's plenty of work to go around as well. So I'd say 95% of people understand that and they don't feel like they're supporting their competition. It's very supportive and we love it. So
yeah, I mean it's almost very easy to say like there's heaps of support and everything because everyone's recommending other people and everyone's got jobs because we're lucky enough to have so many weddings. I don't know why. Sorry, I don't know how there's so many weddings. Like pick a March Saturday, every single person you've ever met is booked. And that's a lot
crazy.
of people.
You go around on us any Saturday in peak wedding season and there are wedding cars everywhere.
Yes, like the amount of photographers you run into in the city.
If you're in the city, you're going to see like 6 other wedding parties.
Like
a safari.
But what I love most about that is that you see people up the street and you're just guessing who they are because you want to run up to them and say hi. And what I'm guessing is that that's not a thing on these groups where people are not supportive of each other. Like, I don't know. I just want to sort of appreciate how lucky we are because I don't think this is normal. And I feel like it's Australia-wide as well, but I
hope
can
it's
only
normal,
speak
but
from...
I don't think it is.
Oh.
If you're from the USA or a different country or from another state, let us know what it's like in your wedding industry if there are comments enabled anywhere where you're hearing or watching this. Because I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out soon. I think I was probably going to say this somewhere at the start, but I didn't even think about it. Who is this for? And I think it's going to be for wedding industry people, photographers, videographers, people that work from home, couples who work together,
people who work for themselves,
running
their own small businesses,
and
or big, whatever.
People planning their weddings, because I'd really like to do a million episodes knowledge dumping everything we know about weddings, because we know, excuse my language, a crap ton. Beep loads of stuff, because we see everything, or not everything, but so much stuff.
Well, it's really funny because so many things are super incredibly obvious to us, because sometimes we go to 3 weddings a weekend, and then you get an email from a client that's asking a question and you just think, well, of course you wouldn't know that. Like, you haven't planned a wedding before, but we have every variation of options for what you're wanting, or we have the one correct answer.
We have seen just about every single combination of ways that things can possibly go. Like, I've shown Jessie a timeline before that's been sent by a couple, and she's gone, that's a crunch point, that's a crunch point, that's a crunch point, that just won't work. And like, it's just so obvious to us now. You can just see it at a glance. Yeah. Like, that we've got so much advice just to hand off. We planned our own wedding. We've been to hundreds. We know how it goes. Especially if you're in Adelaide, and if you're in Adelaide, like, our knowledge would be 99%. And
we know, like, I don't know, we know about lots of venues as well. Like, there's some venues that we may as well move in. Yeah. But I guess it's just, we've just seen a lot. Like, I've seen a traditional Catholic ceremony go 20 different ways. Like, I'm true. Sort of, it's almost like I've seen everything, but I'm ready for everything else. I don't know. It's like ready for anything.
Might close it there. What do you reckon?
I don't know. I've got
episode 1. You got other things to say? Say it. Let's go. Let's. You don't have to look at me like that. Let's do it. When does it end?
Okay, hang on. Okay, so that's what we want to do. We just want to talk about everything we want to talk about.
Just pause.
But
I also want to say.
Oh, okay. I also want to say that, we're super interested in people that work together in couples and how they navigate that. So it would be really awesome to interview some of our favourite people that we know work together in like husband and wife team or whatever, doing what we do or something similar. There are so many just incredible people in the industry that we just want to chat to. So I think we can end there. However, if you listeners want to know anything or to hear us talk about anything, please let us know, because I don't know.
Because we don't know what we want to talk about.
Well,
we do.
We've got some ideas, but we might as well give the people what they want.
Exactly. We'd like some direction, because we think we know what we like to talk about, but that might not necessarily be what you want to hear.
So just to reiterate, Luke's all over business things and would love to talk about that, whatever you want to know. And I don't know, I guess I can help talk about everything else. So thank you so much for listening.
If you made it this far through, well done, because this was like, we've got to be coming up on something like 40 or 45 minutes.
But this has been fun. Thank you, Luke.
Thanks, Jessie.
All right.
Cool.
Bye.
Bye now.
I love how we go to stop record, like in case they hear anything from now on.
Oh, I'm on hold.
We need